Oh man, we go from 80 degrees last week to 28 degrees this morning. And if you're from Minnesota, you'll know. You're gonna like the weather and just wait 5 minutes. I don't think it's gonna get back to 80 degrees anytime soon, unfortunately. But we have good news. Finally, my trusses are here. These are a scissor engineered truss that we're gonna be doing half the shop with. And these will allow me the ceiling height from a Hoist, which I ordered yesterday. So that is about a week away, give or take shipping. That's gonna get dropped at my work. And we're gonna bring it here, unload it. And if everything goes smooth today, and we get all the trusses up, which I think we will. We got a few guys coming to help. So big thanks to them. These guys coming together helped me get this done. Definitely couldn't do it without them. But yeah, if everything goes good today, we get all this up, which I think we will. We only got 10 of them to put up. So I mean, we're just doubling them up on each one. So that one, this one, that one, that one. So all the way back to here, we're just doubling them up. I gotta get these boards out yet. There was some over there last night I got out. You can see they went the whole length of the building, but we took them all out. And then we'll have to get ripping on the electrical over this next week. I'll be doing that, redoing the electrical for the lighting on the new trusses and cutting the old ones out. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I ordered these trusses, it's October 18th right now. I ordered them in like July or early August, something like that. And it took forever for them. They're all the material places. Most of you guys know, if you've been doing any projects or anything, any lumber, construction, anything, you know, everything's taken forever. Everybody's building and remodeling because of the COVID shit. Everybody's stuck at home, so they're remodeling their house. They're not working, so they're bored. So, looks like some of my help just arrived. So I'm gonna get chatting with them, and then we'll get a time lapse of us maybe doing this, so you guys will see how we do it. I think I got a pretty good idea how we'll do this, so. All right guys, back with the new GoPro because I don't know if the cold or something screwed it up. So when we were doing our trusses in the beginning of this video, I was trying to do a time lapse, and we were out here for probably a good hour and a half before we started that with the guys that got here to help me. And going over how we were gonna do this and who was gonna do what, and stringing the rope over the old rafters and everything. And yeah, I don't know, it wouldn't work. So, but here is the end result, which turned out super awesome. We got all the electrical up, we got all the new trusses up, the engineered scissor trusses, and we rehung the wiring, and we cut out the old ones. I'm gonna go back and trim up, I can't trim up those ones, but trim up some of these boards that are sticking out a little bit, but for the most part, we got it. So you can kind of see the height difference there. There's the old truss there, and then, you know, we gained like 3 feet, I think it was, on doing this. So for the Hoist, which is here, showed up yesterday, and I got it loaded in the truck tonight, brought it home. Used the engine hoist and some cardboard and the winch on the four-wheeler, and drug it out about 3/4 of the way, and then attached the cherry picker to the front, bolted it in there, lifted it up, slid it back with the four-wheeler, drove the truck out, dropped it on the ground. So super excited this is here. I cannot wait to get this thing up and start using it. I got a guy that's gonna help me come this weekend, hopefully, now that it's here and at my shop, to be able to install this thing, get the electrical ran, get the hydraulic fluid in it, and hopefully be able to test run it with like my G6 winter beater or something I don't care about as much about, like the Corvette, if it falls off the hoist and we screw it up majorly, and then edit all that out and come back in the spring and try again. No, I think it'll be fine. This real crappy winter weather in October is screwing things up though. I'm waiting for the insulation guys to come, which we have that scheduled for the first week of November. Those guys are gonna come out and spray foam 3 inches the entire building, so we can finally hold some heat, which also I've been working on. We have a furnace now. I'm waiting for one part on it that we had it working and then it screwed something up. I don't know, the transformer or something like that, I think the guy said. So got a transformer on the way. He's gonna come back out in a couple days and hook that up. Good thing is it's supposed to warm up. It's been like, I think today was 22 degrees. It was a low of like 10. So it's cold. This building is freezing right now. It is a big ice box basically with all this metal exposed. And then next week it's actually supposed to get back up into the 50s. And then I'm hoping that's up and running. We'll run it overnight, all night, the night before the guys come with the spray foam to maintain that 50 degree or more air in here if I can and keep the condensation down. So then they can spray the spray foam and then it will be warm in here finally. It will hold heat, get this slab warmed up so we're not freezing our toes off, and then we can start wrenching on things on the new hoist. And in case you guys are wondering, this is an Atlas PRO-9D, I believe is the model number. This cost me about $2,400 shipped to my work because you have to have a bobcat or forklift or something to unload it off the semi. They won't unload it for you. Or you have the option to pick it up at one of their locations. There's like 6 across the country, but the closest one to me, being in Minnesota, was like Indiana or something. I'm like, nah, I'll pay you the $300 to come drop it off. I don't care. Got a bobcat at work, loaded it off, loaded it on the truck of mine, brought it home, and here she is. So it is a full frame 12-foot hoist. I'm thinking it's gonna go like right about here somewhere, maybe just behind this truss. I'm not sure, probably just in front of it. I want to figure out exactly how far forward or back to have it here in relation to like this workbench, because I want to still be able to like pull an engine out or something, you know, here. I want to be able to put the cherry picker in this area and be able to pull a motor out without being too cramped. But I also got to think of like my Duramax, if I'm working on that, that being a full 3/4 ton truck, you want to pull that a little bit further forward on the hoist. So then, you know, the truck's probably going to come up here, and I'm probably not pulling any motors on any of those, so I'll probably be okay. But worst case scenario is if we put it somewhere and I find it's too far forward in the shop where I want it, which I think we're going to, you know, measure 10 times and cut once on that, so I know I have it where I want it. I can always back the vehicle in and work on it that way. Not typically what I'd like to do, because then you get all this open area up here, and I probably have cars up here. But it'll work. We'll get it figured out. So, but I wanted to update you guys because, like I said, something happened with my GoPro. I didn't get the time lapse of us putting the rafters up. I have some pictures, and I'll probably put them in at some point while I'm jabbering away here. What we did to get those up here, we lifted this side up. I had 5 guys helping me. We lifted this side up into the heel board up here, right? That long 2x8 that goes all the way down the whole length of the building. We lifted this side up into it. We had Dex, my buddy at Shift at 9, his YouTube channel. Go check him out. He was running the rope on the 3/4 end of the truss up here. We tied it and then looped it over the old truss to help lift it up. We had another guy down there holding it on that heel. And this is where it got tricky. So when we first started this process, we were on this truss right here, on this one. So here's what we got going on over here. We had to get around this shelf, which I should have took it down, but I didn't. Whatever, we got around it. And we got stuck like somewhere in here, and you can kind of see the scrape marks on the wood. And we went up, but we couldn't get it past the outside heel board. And you can see now, this wasn't what was originally here. Originally, it was that 2x8. That you see on the left side of this post. We cut approximately a foot out of the heel board on the inside heel board edge, went past the heel board, went up and over and slid it forward and slid them into place. And then we kept doing that all the way down. That was the trick we found out. Once we figured that out, this went cakewalk. I'm super, super thankful those guys came over and helped me do that, because it was a lot of work, even with 5 other guys here, 6 other guys, whatever it was. you know, everybody's up on ladders. These things weigh 180 pounds a piece. They're 30 feet wide, you know, so it was difficult. It was exhausting, but we got it done. And I thank all you guys for your help. Super appreciative on that. Owe you guys some lift time for sure. That's your reward. And you had some pizza and stuff. So, but then when we were done, we went back and we cut all the old truss out one by one, and we kind of reused some of the wood in here. This is kind of a smart idea, at least I think. We'll see if it holds up. I hope it does. It should. These are 2x6s here, so we just doubled these up, and these are the old bottom pieces of the old trusses. So we cut a 15-foot length, and we mounted that on the inside board. So there's 2 boards here, and then we did a 10-foot piece between this post and that post. And then we took another 15-foot, 10-foot section and staggered them. So now the 15-foot board is outside on this end, and the 10-foot board is out down there. And then anywhere where there was a plate or whatever for the truss, we made sure to screw there. You see there's 6 screws in that area there. You know, and then we have 6 or 8 going into the post, and then a couple here just to secure them together. And yeah, so that's how we did that. Instead of just going out and buying more 2x8s, which I have all kinds of lumber. You know, there was all these boards and stuff that were up here that were all the whole way down. I had to take out, knock out. A bunch of dead mice up there and stuff. It was pretty gross. And same thing on this side. You can actually see all the old nails up there that we had to pound each board out of. Every truss, they were nailed down. Some 2, some 3 nails on each 2x4 for some reason into the old trusses, you know, just like this one here. If I were to do it again, and I hope I don't have to, I would have done one more truss, I think. This is 30 feet. The building's 50 feet deep, and we did 30 feet of it, so each one of these is 5 feet on center. Well, a little more than that now, but they're 5 feet spread apart, and we doubled them up too, if you see that. And the reason why, for you people who don't know construction stuff, and I'm not an expert by any means on construction, building architecture, nothing, but I had several guys come out and bid this job for these trusses, and an engineered scissor truss like this shape, to get that ceiling height is about 3/4 the strength of a standard like 412 pitch truss. So when you cut your truss out, if you only had one in there, you'd only have 3/4 the strength for the run of your building that you did this. So we doubled them up, so now it should be in theory 1.5 times as strong as the truss that was in there before, which I'm actually really happy with if that holds true, because now for the snow loads we get here, I shouldn't ever have to worry about that in this building. I typically like to come out and rake it, but I'll show you. I mean, you know, it's 15 plus feet up to the peak of it. It's probably 25 feet. But then on this side, I got the lean-to where I keep some stuff. You know, I'd have to have a 50-foot snow rake to get all that stuff off there. So just hoping we don't get a shit ton of snow this year like we sometimes do. And that won't be an issue. But yeah, so sorry if I went kind of fast. Sorry if I'm rambling. I'm really excited about all this. This has been months in the making. Like I said in the start of this video, I believe these trusses took me over 2 months to get. Everything is way more expensive in price as far as lumber and construction materials go. The lead times are way out because everybody's doing remodel projects, being home from the pandemic and whatnot. Hey guys, so it's a couple days later after the last shot in this clip here, and I have been crazy busy with getting as much stuff as I can prepped for the guys to come insulate the shop here. I've had a lot of people coming over to help with the hoist, with shelving, stuff like that, tearing stuff down. So I've been pretty bad about walking around with a camera while I got all this help. We've just been kind of plucking away at everything, trying to get everything done. It's been busy. I've been out here every night after work, every day during the weekends, trying to get something done or a few things done. So it's a disaster right now, but the hoist is up. The hoist is up. It's functional. I've actually used it to lift 2 cars already. Not the Corvette yet. I don't quite trust it, although everything is going well. No reason not to trust it yet, but I don't need to lift the car yet, so there's no reason to put it on there. So this project went very well. I had a guy who was very knowledgeable at putting these in. He actually worked at the old dealership where I used to work, and he put every hoist in there. So hi. So he was very, very generous and came over and spent 2 days, not full days, 2 days though, of a couple hours each day. You know, the first day we got the uprights up and squared and plumbed and everything. And then we did the electrical. Actually, I did the electrical, and he came over and we just buttoned up a few things like the equalizers to make sure the hoist lifts level, adjusting a few things here and there, and got everything going. Tested it out. Everything worked good. Everything went good on this project. The only thing I wish Atlas would have done better is the instructions on assembling the hoist. They literally just give you an exploded diagram of all the parts, and there are a lot. There's 3 pages of the lists of nuts and bolts and cables and the uprights and all these pieces that come to this hoist. And that's what you got to go off of to put it together. Is it doable? Absolutely, it's doable. We did it. But there was a couple things like the safety switch that they didn't include the wiring on how they wanted that to break power to the switch. So when you contact the safety switch up there, that it shuts off power to the hoist. So I had to call Atlas on that. They also gave very poor, actually little to no instruction except the exploded diagram on how to do the safety lock cable release. So I don't have the covers on yet because I'm just hoping everything holds together, but here's how I did this. And I'm probably gonna cut this end of this cable here because it's frayed and poked me I don't know how many times. I'm gonna leave this for extra adjustment in the future in case this cable stretches or anything, but as you see here, you put tension on this to, as soon as you pull the cable over there, then this immediately starts to release the lock. So we just used a cable clamp there, doubled it up, and then looped it through here. The anchors went well. We didn't epoxy them. I did mention it to the guy that helped me about doing that. He says now he kind of wishes that he would have, but there was no reason to. They torqued down, the torque spec on each of these nuts is 150 foot-pounds. Every single one of them torqued to that with no problem whatsoever. I think we measured the installed height is at like 3 3/4 of an inch. The slab is 4 inches, so by the time the anchor pulled up and set into the concrete, there's like 3 3/4 inches in the ground, times 10. There's 10 anchors. So Atlas says you only need 4-inch slab of concrete. I have 4 1/4 according to the drill bit and my measurements, which seems like an odd measurement. Maybe it's only 4, I don't know. But every time I checked, every hole was about 4 1/4 deep. I was hoping for 5, but it really doesn't make a difference. The hoist only needs 4 inches. 10,000, 15,000 pound hoists also only require 4 inches from Atlas. Some other companies want more, but as the weight capacity gets bigger, the pads on the feet get bigger of these uprights here, so you got more surface area to spread that weight. We moved the air compressor. The air compressor is now going to be over here. I moved the 220 outlet. It was over there next to that one. I brought that one out so when they spray foam it, they don't have to tape that all the way off. I still have yet to get this shelf off. I gotta take my cabinets down. Gotta get the shelves out of the way. I got this bench unmounted. All the shelving that was up here all torn down. It was all pretty much junk wood anyway, so I'll have to build some new shelves once the spray foam's up. But yeah, I got some insulation board, or I guess, can't remember. Can't think of the name of it right here. Right off the top of my head right now. For the garage door, I'm probably going to be working on that tonight. It's actually gotten pretty nice last few days. As you can see, the snow is gone. Minnesota pulled, one of its Minnesota things, and it was like 70 degrees today. So luckily I don't have to heat the building this week for them to come spray foam, which is awesome because it's not insulated, so it's not going to hold the heat for shit. But it's going to be 58 degrees the day they spray foam it for a high, so I imagine it'll probably start about 40 degrees, 44 degrees I think I saw was the low. So I won't have to worry about any heat in here because they said as long as it's 38 degrees or warmer in the building, the the equipment works and it'll stick to the walls and whatever. So yeah, so that's where we are right now. And I'll probably continue this video with the spray foam being done and what it looks like when it's all said and done. But guys, this hoist is like a blessing now. I've been working towards this forever, and I'm so excited it's in here to start using it and it's working. This is gonna make things a million times easier, you know. Work on vehicles on hoists all day, and coming home to do it on the ground after you're spoiled at work all day really sucks. So it'll be nice to be able to have this luxury now on working on cars. So I'm gonna wrap this little segment up with that. I can't think of anything else at the moment. I'm gonna get busy on insulating the garage door and trying to move the air hose reel to the actual hoist arm. I'm gonna drill holes and bolt it right to the hoist. That's how I'm used to having them. That's how they're at work. That's how every dealership I've been at, that's how they do them too. Just makes it easier. And then the hose can reach further out the door, because I think it's only a 50-foot hose. So I mean, from there, it barely reaches to the end because this building's 50 feet. So by the time the coil and everything, the hose reels up, you know, you only get like 48 feet, I think, actually. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna cut it there for this segment, and I'll see you probably in like, I don't know, real quick here in the next segment here when the spray foam's done. All right, guys, we are like, I don't know, a couple days after the last segment of this video, and we've changed quite a bit of stuff. As you can see by the walls behind me, the shop is now spray foam insulated, 4 inches thick. So now we can hold some heat in here. The only spot that's not 4 inches thick, this door, because it slides. So this is only like 1.25 inches, I think they said, but that'll still help hold some heat in. Furnace is up and running. We moved the AC compressor. We moved this workbench. We're gonna put the cabinets right there instead of sitting on there. Let's see. Oh, we installed the hose reel onto the hoist and ran the, I'm gonna redo that a little bit, but just kind of temporarily ran the air line. It's kind of a mess, but so yeah, now we can just pick it up, pull that down, and then reel it back up. That's kind of nice. Kind of nice. Used a bunch of storage up above, some extra wheels and tires, and some old parts and stuff, Corvette parts. I'm still trying to figure out where I want to build some shelving, but yeah, I'm super happy with this. It's been nice the last couple days. It's been in like the 70s and 60s, which is amazing. So I haven't really got to test the furnace holding the heat in. I've just been testing it to make sure it keeps running, because we've had issues on and off with the thermostat, with the drain trap, whatever you call it, for the water, because it's a high efficiency furnace, and a few other things. But we've fixed everything so far. It seems to be working, so hopefully that stays working. What else have we done? I feel like we've done a lot. I do have this little Harbor Freight special. I'll probably bolt that to the back of that one workbench once I get some plywood up to. Oh, we insulated the garage door. Did that yesterday. So garage door is now insulated. We had to take all these pieces of reinforced steel and the brackets off. So yeah, got a little bit more organizing to do, but it's coming together. The guys that did the spray foam, Expert Insulation, local here in town. I think they have more branches though across maybe the Midwest, I think he said. But they did an excellent job. They were very careful in like wrapping up the hoist and everything. They did a pretty good job of cleaning up when they left. They could have done a little better, but I mean, they were here for like 9-10 hours, so I don't blame them. They probably just wanted to get home. Nothing I couldn't handle, just sweeping up the floor mainly and stuff. So but yeah, I mean, it's kind of like a big igloo in here now. It's a little more echoey, which they said would happen. I'm not really sure what I want to do as far as finishing this off or not. For the time being, it's going to be like this. I've spent enough money on this stuff, so time to make some money back before we do any finishing off. But yeah, I mean, should be able to make it through winter now using the hoist and everything. We can get the drift truck in here once we're ready to work on that project. Got to get a welder yet. But yeah, so I think let's think of something before I end this video here. I think we're good and everything's kind of the way I want it for winter now. Just more shelving and stuff, which I can kind of do on the way as time goes by now because it's heated and insulated. But yeah, it looks great. Turned out really good. So guys, I think that is gonna wrap it up for this segment of this video. Actually, probably the whole video. We went through a lot of pieces of the stages of this from when we first got the trusses and we're cutting stuff out to putting in the hoist, which I wish I'd have done a little bit better job of documenting these individual things I've done. But I know some of you are also probably guilty of this. Once you get rocking on a project, the last thing you're thinking of is, oh, I should document this for the YouTube channel. Yeah, I need to get better about that. But I've tried to go as I went and done things to try and give you guys as much information as possible on these items. But yeah, shop's done for now. I will look at epoxying the floor probably in the spring, maybe painting these walls, get rid of this yellowish color. I don't know. It is nice and bright in here still, so not too worried about that. But until the next video, either update on the shop or hopefully a race event, we will see you in that video. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys, and we will see you then.